Hello, adventurers of the mind. In today's episode, we're zooming in on a world that's tinier than we can see, yet as vast as life itself. I'm Arthur, and I will give you the key takeaways from Richard Dawkins' book, The Selfish Gene. This is a tale of survival, replication, and the hidden forces that have shaped every creature you've ever known, including you and me. Together, we'll unravel the mysteries of our genetic code, how genes fight for survival, and if you stick around until the end, you will learn the surprising truth behind memes, a term Dawkins introduced that goes way beyond internet jokes. Discover how they shape our culture and the way that we think. Though we can't cover all 544 pages, we promise to deliver the essence of the selfish gene in just 15 minutes. So, settle in, get comfortable, and prepare to look at life through a lens you might never have done before. This is a podcast from Teaching Tales. Lesson 1. What is the selfish gene? In the vast tapestry of life, from the tiniest microorganisms to the majestic blue whales, there lies a common thread: genes. These microscopic sequences of DNA are the blueprints of life, carrying instructions for building and maintaining organisms. But Richard Dawkins introduces us to a revolutionary perspective in the selfish gene. Genes are not just passive carriers of information. They are active participants in the game of evolution. The term selfish does not imply that genes have emotions, desires, or intentions. Instead, it's a metaphorical way to describe their behavior. Genes that are good at getting themselves replicated will become more common over generations. Those that aren't will vanish. In this sense, they act in a way that ensures their own survival and replication. For instance, consider a gene that promotes altruistic behavior in an organism, causing it to help its siblings. On the surface, this seems selfless. But if those siblings carry the same altruistic gene, then by helping them, the gene is also helping copies of itself. Over time, this selfish gene will spread through the population. However, it's crucial to understand that this doesn't mean the organism itself is selfish. Organisms are merely vehicles, survival machines, as Dawkins puts it, that genes use to ensure their replication. The true players in the game of evolution are the genes themselves, competing in the gene pool to produce the next generation. In this light, evolution is not just about the survival of the fittest individual or species, but the survival of the fittest genes. It's a shift in perspective that changes how we view everything, from altruism to competition, cooperation to conflict. Lesson 2. Genes' survival strategies. At the heart of evolution lies a relentless drive, the drive for genes to replicate and ensure their continuity. But in the vast and varied theatre of life, how do genes ensure their survival? The answer lies in the myriad strategies they employ, some of which might seem counterintuitive at first glance. Let's take a look at 5 strategies that Dawkins teaches us about in his book. Cooperation. While the term selfish might suggest ruthless competition, genes often find that cooperation is the key to success. Consider the cells in our body, each containing the same set of genes. These cells cooperate harmoniously, ensuring the survival of the organism, and by extension, the genes they carry. Altruism. One of the most puzzling behaviors in nature is the act of selflessness, where an organism helps another at its own expense. But from the gene's perspective, altruism makes sense if it helps its close relatives themselves in the long run or the group as a whole. More on this in Lesson 3. Competition. In situations where resources are limited, genes might promote competitive behaviors in their carriers. The classic peacock's tail is an example. Male peacocks compete to have the most impressive tail, attracting mates and ensuring their genes are passed on. Mimicry. Some genes ensure survival by making their carriers resemble something else. For instance, certain harmless butterflies have patterns that make them look like toxic species, deterring predators. Another striking example is the mimic octopus, which can change its color, shape, and behavior to imitate more than 15 different species, including sea snakes, lionfish, and flatfish, all to avoid predators and sometimes to sneak up on its prey. Flexibility. Genes that allow their carriers to adapt to a range of environments have a better chance of survival. This flexibility can manifest in various ways, such as the Arctic fox, which changes its fur color from brown to white to blend in with the changing seasons, ensuring its camouflage from predators and success in hunting regardless of the terrain. In the plant kingdom, the remarkable dandelion is a prime example. thriving in a variety of conditions, from well-tended lawns to cracks in the pavement, its seeds ingeniously designed to disperse far and wide with the help of the wind. Okay, so that's how they do it. In essence, genes are like players in a grand game, each employing strategies. Some play defense, some offense, and others form alliances. But every move in this game is directed towards one goal, ensuring the gene's survival and replication. Now let's continue our exploration. We'll see how these strategies manifest in various forms of life and the intricate dances of cooperation and competition that shape the natural world. Lesson 3. Altruism through a genetic lens. One of the most intriguing behaviors observed in the natural world is altruism. This word means acts of selflessness, and at first glance it seems to contradict the very essence of the selfish gene. Why would an organism act in a way that benefits another, especially if it comes at its own expense? The answer, as Richard Dawkins explains, lies in the intricate dance of genetics. Let's see what concepts and principles there are. Kin selection. At the heart of altruistic behavior is the concept of kin selection. While an individual might sacrifice its own well-being or reproductive potential, if it aids close relatives who share many of the same genes, the selfish gene still wins. For instance, a bee might sacrifice its life to protect the hive because its sisters in the hive carry the same genes. Reciprocal altruism. Beyond close kin, altruism can also be observed among unrelated individuals. This principle could be explained like, "I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine." Organisms help others with the expectation of future help. This behavior is especially prevalent in species with social structures and long memories like primates. Group selection. Some scientists argue that genes promoting altruistic behavior can benefit the entire group, even if they don't directly benefit the individual. While this idea is debated, and Dawkins himself is skeptical, it suggests that groups with more altruists might fare better against challenges than groups without. The cost-benefit analysis. Every act of selflessness comes with a cost to the individual and a benefit to the recipient. Genes promoting altruism will thrive if the benefit to the recipient, weighted by the relatedness, exceeds the cost to the actor. A simple yet elegant example from the plant world is the relationship between flowering plants and their pollinators. Consider a plant that produces nectar. Producing nectar requires energy, which is a cost to the plant. However, when bees or other pollinators visit the flower to consume this nectar, they inadvertently carry pollen from one flower to another, aiding in the plant's reproduction. The benefit of this increased pollination often outweighs the energy cost of nectar production, making it a successful strategy from a genetic standpoint. The shadow of cheaters. In a world of altruists, cheaters, those who take advantage without giving back, can thrive. This leads to an evolutionary arms race, with genes developing strategies to detect and punish cheaters. A classic example in nature is the common cuckoo. Cuckoos are known for their brood parasitism. They lay their eggs in the nests of other bird species. The unsuspecting host birds often raise the cuckoo chicks as their own, even at the expense of their biological offspring. This behavior allows the cuckoo genes to be passed on without the cost of parental care. However, host species have developed counter-strategies, such as recognizing and rejecting cuckoo eggs, leading to a continuous evolutionary battle between the cuckoos and their hosts. In The Selfish Gene, Dawkins paints a picture of altruism that is both intricate and fascinating. It's not just about simple acts of kindness, it's a complex interplay of genetics, cost-benefit analyses, and evolutionary pressures. Through this lens, even the most selfless act is a part of the grand strategy of genes ensuring their survival and replication. Lesson 4. Memes, the genes of culture. Ever had a song stuck in your head for days? Or found yourself using a catchphrase you picked up from a friend? Congratulations, you've been infected by a meme. No, not the funny internet pictures, but something deeper and, dare I say, more contagious. Richard Dawkins introduced us to the concept of the meme as a cultural equivalent to the gene in biological evolution. But what is it exactly? It's more than just the funny images we see on the internet. Memes are ideas, behaviors, styles that spread within a culture, and they are everywhere around us. From the latest fashion trend to that song you can't get out of your head, memes are vying for a place in our consciousness. Consider how some songs become hits while others quickly fade into obscurity, or how certain fashion trends like bell-bottoms make a comeback, while others, like powdered wigs, remain a part of history. This is the survival of the fittest meme. Memes mutate, combine, and evolve, just like genes. A movie quote can transform into a popular meme, which then becomes a t-shirt design, and eventually a coffee mug that your aunt gives you for Christmas. That's meme evolution in action. And just as there is a gene pool, there is a meme pool, the sum of all memes in a culture. Some pools are deeper than others. Have you ever dived into the internet's meme pool? It's truly an experience, but it's not all fun and games. Memes shape our culture, just as genes shape our biology. Sometimes the two collide. Ever tried to stick to a diet but been tempted by a chocolate cake? That's a tug of war between your genes and your memes. In the grand theatre of evolution, while genes play out their strategies in the biological realm, memes are busy shaping the cultural landscape. And as Dawkins suggests, understanding memes gives us insights into the very fabric of human culture. So next time you find yourself humming that catchy tune, remember, it's just a meme doing its job. Lesson 5. Evolution's Long Game. In the grand chessboard of evolution, genes and memes might seem like they're playing a rapid-fire blitz game, but in reality, it's more of a marathon than a sprint. Evolution, both biological and cultural, plays the long game, and sometimes the moves it makes can be quite surprising. Consider the example of a squirrel stashing away nuts for the winter instead of consuming them immediately. This behavior represents a genetic strategy for long-term survival, favoring future security over immediate gratification. Similarly, humans investing time in learning a musical instrument may not see immediate benefits, but the cultural and social rewards can be significant over time. Over longer periods, the fierce competition we observe in nature often gives way to cooperation as a dominant strategy. This shift is evident from the cellular level, where individual cells have teamed up to form complex organisms, to the societal level, where nations form alliances for mutual benefit. The trajectory of evolution, thus, often leans towards collaborative efforts for greater success. As time progresses, simple structures and systems evolve into more complex ones. This is true for both biological life, where single-celled organisms have given rise to the vast diversity we see today, and cultural memes, which have evolved from basic tools to complex constructs like the internet, or intricate systems like IKEA furniture assembly instructions. Evolution is characterized by feedback loops, where small advantages are amplified over time. Birds with slightly better vision, for instance, may find more food, leading to healthier offspring who inherit and possibly improve upon these advantageous traits. In human societies, a community that values education tends to produce more knowledgeable individuals, further reinforcing the importance of education in subsequent generations. However, the course of evolution is not always predictable. Just as a sudden genetic mutation can alter the trajectory of a species, a groundbreaking cultural idea can radically shift the direction of societal development. The unforeseen impact of inventions like sliced bread or the unexpected popularity of a meme like a frog on a unicycle are testaments to the unpredictability of evolutionary processes. Ultimately, while the immediate battles for survival and replication are intense and often dramatic, the true brilliance of evolution lies in its capacity to adapt, innovate, and play the long game. This reminds us that to fully appreciate the intricacies of evolution, we must step back and consider the broader picture, recognizing the slow yet relentless march of genetic and memetic progress. And now, a final thought to ponder. If you could look back through the eons, witnessing the countless genetic and memetic battles that have shaped the course of life and culture, what patterns do you think you would see? And more importantly, how do you think understanding these patterns could change the way we approach our future, both as individuals and as a society? Thank you for joining me into the fascinating world of genes and memes. It's been a pleasure to explore these unseen forces that shape our existence with you. If today's episode sparked your curiosity, I encourage you to delve deeper into Richard Dawkins' intriguing work. You'll find a link to his book in the description. Remember, the story of evolution isn't just a tale of the past. It's a living narrative that we're all a part of. So keep your sense of wonder alive. Continue pondering and questioning the world around us. And if you've enjoyed our exploration today, please share this episode with like-minded thinkers, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the marvels of science and the mysteries of our world. Until we meet again, stay curious and never lose your sense of wonder. This is Arthur, signing off.